Well, I've been bargain shopping today. Concrete blocks. I know what you're thinking, they're pretty rough. But they were discounted for the low price of their coals. So that's probably the worst one. That one's not bad. Reason I got that one is, several of these, is because the rebar pulled out, so they couldn't sell them. But anyway, so we got 2 on the trailer, 1 in the truck. They're 4,000 pounds a piece, so we got 12,000 pounds total. Trailer's got 54 or 5,600 pound axles, so 3 would have been too much, but 2's not bad. Gotta love having the Super Duty dually. Put 4,000 pounds in the bed and drive home. Try that with a half ton. And it's our 3rd load, so I didn't video the other 2 loads. Didn't video the place because I don't know what their policy is on videoing on premises, but I had a friend that worked out there and I called him about these. He said, well, they're 45 a piece, but we're out of them right now unless you want coals. I said, what do you want for the coals? He said, come get them. So they're not perfect, but we're going to make them work. There's some good, some bad, but we'll turn them a certain way. That red one, I don't know that we'll use it, but I couldn't be choosy. He just loaded them as he got to them, so I wasn't choosy. But it started raining right as I was loading them up the last trip, so can't beat free. We'll get the backhoe out and get these unloaded. I don't know that we'll get them set today. Just to recap, what we're doing is I'm filling that up, putting a wall across there and tying in, and I want to make that a patio up there. I've got a little one on the way, and I'd like to make a patio up there and fence it off, so maybe when we're outside here in a few years, she can play and won't fall off the wall or have to worry about her quite as much. So, be a good little play area. So, that's what we're going to do. Let's go get the 580 and come with us and see if we can get these things unloaded and get this stuff put up. It's starting to rain pretty good. So, it's been about an hour, and I don't know if you could hear it in that last little clip that I made, but tornado sirens were going off, and the wife was calling, and apparently there was a tornado touchdown about probably 15 miles south. And so I went up in the house, so well, better leave the blocks on the truck and trailer, maybe they won't fly away if the tornado comes. And then my cousin Landon from another video, if you watch my videos, the shop story video, that was Landon there, and also known as Chico. He's not from south of the border, but he's like me. He's got a tan complexion, so he gets accused of being Mexican a lot. So ever since he was a kid, they've called him Chico, and he just pretty well goes with it. But he showed up, and he said, what are we doing? Are we going to get those blocks set? And I said, well, if you're here, we'll try. So we started unloading them. Got a little wet there. Looked like a bunch of drowned rats. We were working pretty quick here, so. And you can't see it or hear it, but the lightning was popping off all around us. So we get this last block unloaded, and we're going to take a break. See if I can get this trailer cleaned off. Maybe get all the extra gravel off in the rain and take care of it.
You
make
go,
it extra
D!
clean for when we put it back in the morning. Don't be a fool. Clean your tools. You're going to hear a lot of voiceover today because this video is sped up to ×8. Sounds like this. Apparently that's what a 580K sounds like when it's sped up and I can't let you guys just sit here in silence. So, oh, we're breaking ground. I got a string line, but that doesn't stay good for very long. Didn't think that one through. But at least we got the first dig and got it started off straight. That wall is 4 foot, but we got about a foot over dig. That's 4 foot from the footings. And I wanted to leave a little bit of room so when I pour a slab later on, I basically want the top of the slab to come up to right below that green. So we're shooting it. If you keep seeing me walking past the screen, I got a transom set up just to the right of you. You're on the one end of the fuel tank and the transom setting up on the other. And we're trying to shoot it in, but I end up with about a foot of under dig with the bottom row of blocks. It worked out pretty good. So they can't scoot across the top of the ground. There's definitely a skill to it, and I'm definitely not the best, but what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to scoot that bucket, keep the bottom of that bucket flat, and I'm trying to cut about 1 inch off, which is harder than you think, because you got to keep that bucket just almost perfectly flat, or either scoot across the ground or it's going to gouge and take out 5 inches at once, it seems. So we got it within 1 inch, so let's go get a block and get her set. So these things work pretty good. I left it a little bit off over here. If you'll notice that I'm not getting it right up against the building. I did that for 2 reasons. I did that for number one, that I've got some drain pipe. You see that gray pipe? That's where my tiling comes through. And for 2, if the blocks are offset, since we're going a second course, it'll be a lot stronger if the gaps aren't all lined up. And that second row of block will actually be sitting on 2 blocks rather than just 1. So it makes it a lot stronger. We take quite a bit of time here to try to get the first block level, because as I was always taught, start square, in square, start level, in level, however you want to say it. But if you start off a little off, by the time you get done with the project, you'll be a lot off. So it pays to spend a little bit extra time here and start off right, because everything after this is going to be measured off this block. So, but moving around a 4,000 pound block is a little bit easier said than done. And by the time we was all said and done, we had these blocks within a 1/2 inch of level and square, probably, for the most part. But see how I had to pull that chain out? That kind of messed it back up. Then I had to go back and refix it, because the thing about these blocks, that's why they were freeze, because they don't have the piece of rebar's pulled out of it. So normally you just take and hang it off of the back bucket or the front bucket and set it and you're done. Well, we had to hang it off a chain, so made it a little bit harder, but this is over $400 worth of block that we set today, and it cost me truck fuel, so I'm not going to complain. Now we'll see if we can dig this second block in, and third maybe. The extend-a-hoe, which I don't have. It'd be nice sometimes, give you a little bit more reach on something like this. I couldn't reach to dig all 3 blocks in at the same time, so I dug the first half, set that block, and then now I dig the second half. I like the extend-a-hoe, but I will say that the farther you get stretched out, the farther everything moves, the more sensitive everything is. So sometimes a standard hoe is nice, and I know you don't have to use it, but it's just lighter without the extend-a-hoe. And I can't see that far anyway. Uh-oh, the help has arrived. Mr. Callan, also known as Pork Chop. Back when I was hot and heavy in the heat and air business, he was my employee for a while. Good boy. Good help. He was looking for something full-time, benefits, 401k, and a little small shop like me couldn't offer it. I see how I tilted with the outrigger. That's a good way if you need to move sideways a few inches. If you have a backhoe, you can tilt the outrigger and actually move your load side to side for setting blocks or stuff like that. Works pretty good. But there's where the most control comes, when you can move stuff around with a back boom. Poor old Landon, he sure likes to put himself in the unsafe zone around equipment. I guess he trusts me more than he ought to. He likes to walk right beside that boom. Well, I just noticed that Joe's arrived. The whole posse's here now. Landon, Joe, and Callan, so we ought to get something done now.
Pork chop did it. Pork chop's my hero. Measure! He wants to be back in the mud. Espanol Mexicano, señorita. 50. 49. I got 6 foot there. Yeah. Okay, the door.
And this is where the battery died. Oh well, it happens. Huh? Ooh. Welcome back. So you guys were strapped to the fuel tank yesterday without me knowing it. I got in backhoe mode and wasn't paying attention, and the battery went dead on you, so lost probably the last half of the video. But if you didn't know, we're putting a patio in. You can probably kind of see what we're trying to do. We're going to backfill that, make this level. That's the idea. Love these blocks. They went in pretty quick. I mean, I don't know how much work I'd had if I would have had to pour footings and a wall and call a concrete truck, and it would have turned into a battle. Or use those things and use 1,000,000 of those, and I don't feel comfortable making a wall that tall out of those. I feel like they'll move and settle. So anyway, this is what we came up with. I want to put some steps right there, and that for probably 4 foot right there. And I don't know if you can tell, but we'll just take this wall or those blocks and kind of move those out and to meet that. But it worked out really well, I thought. Like I said, these blocks are 4,000 pounds, so if you ever do a project with these, you're not going to pick them up with most loader tractors. Even my 3020 wouldn't have picked those up. The backhoe acted like it was no big deal. I mean, and I think that 580K is rated for 5,500 pounds, but it definitely didn't tax it any. It picked it up like it was nobody's business. I was pretty excited about that, but the front tires, you could tell, had some weight on them. They were kind of starting to bubble out, but anyway, appreciate you making it this far in the video. And next thing we have to do is get some drain pipe and do some backfilling, but the video's probably getting long enough as it is, so I'm gonna put that in another video. But I appreciate you watching, and come back for more. Thanks.